Have you heard about one of America's most haunted lakes? Let's talk about it. Just north of Atlanta is a man-made lake called Lake Sidney Lanier, also known as Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier is the largest lake in the state of Georgia and is said to be extremely haunted. The most famous urban legend is known as the Lady in the Lake. Before we get into the creepy mysteries of the lake, let's talk about the history of Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier's dark history could be the culprit of so many deaths and unexplained mysteries. In 1912, Lake Lanier, known as Oscarville during that time, was a predominantly black town. Oscarville thrived with black-owned businesses, churches, and schools. But that all changed in September of the same year when 18-year-old May Crow was assaulted in the woods not too far from her family's home. May would pass away from the injuries of her assault, which caused a downward spiral for the town of Oscarville. 24-year-old Rob Edwards was arrested for the assault. Even though there were no witnesses or evidence to prove he was guilty, Edwards was taken from the county jail by a mob, brutally beaten, shot, and dragged throughout the town. His wife, neighbor, and other family members were also arrested, but only 2 black men were sentenced and given the same fate as Edwards. The mob then set fire to the local businesses and churches. Then they forced the rest of the black residents out of the county. Oscarville was flooded in the 1950s to create Lake Sidney Lanier. Many of the town's structures were never removed, including unmarked graves. Now, there are many urban legends surrounding Lake Lanier. The most popular one is the Lady of the Lake. In 1958, 2 young girls named Dahlia Mae Parker Young and Susie Roberts had left the dance. The duo had stopped to gas up Susie's vehicle, but skipped out on paying for the gas. Racing away from the gas station, the vehicle skidded off a bridge that crossed over Lake Lanier and disappeared. A year later, a fisherman found the body floating close to the bridge. People who had seen the duo together the year before confirmed that the body wearing a blue dress was the body of Dahlia. And over 30 years later, a 1950 Ford sedan was located in the lake with the remains of Susie Roberts. It's said that Dahlia is often seen roaming the bridge in her flowing blue dress. Creepier than that, many people believe they have seen the Lady of the Lake walking the bridge with no hands and missing toes. Another legend comes from the incidents from divers and tourists. The lake was built in the 1950s, and since then, there has been 500 deaths on the lake, with 200 of them dating back to 1994 to present day. In 2017, a diver named Buck Buchanan claimed to have felt body parts in the lake. He stated that he would reach out into the darkness of the lake and feel an arm or leg, and the body parts doesn't move. Other divers claim to have seen roads, structures, artifacts, and graves. Tourists who dare to swim in Lake Lanier said that they felt hands trying to pull them under as if trying to drown them. Many people have drowned or died from boating accidents for many years on Lake Lanier, which heightened the legends of the cursed lake. What do you think? Could angry spirits of the past haunt the lake trying to reclaim what was once theirs? Or could the legends of Lake Lanier be just legends retold throughout generations? Let me know in the comments.